The lucky house. What the hell am I doing? On me, Pa. Yeah. My controller's dying, dude. Sniped him. Down your fire. Down there. Bro, let me get that loot over there, dog. Dude, that's why I fucking... How the fuck am I gonna get it there, bro? Let's get out of here, bro. Oh, it's not going out of circle.
Call me, Jeff. On me, bro. A lot of people, I don't got that. Where is he? Get him. Res, build. Oh, no. Damn, cuz a lot of people probably didn't even have maps that game. Wasn't even farming, too busy using that Spider-Man shit. Class time.
strategy lesson last year. If any of you remember it, if you don't, that's fine. But I just wanted to go over that because we're done. You're done pretty much from this class, other than if you have missing work. If you do have missing work, and I'm looking at some of the boxes, if you have missing work, you have until tomorrow. And I made that very clear. Tomorrow's the last day. Turn them in, please turn them in. If you are missing specifically this final draft, that's the one I want you to focus on the most. I've been messing around with scores from block 2. Some of those individuals are missing a lot of work, and even just turning in that final draft.
You know the blonde ding-dong in the suit, Agent Jones?
Potentially.
Well, there's more of them. And they've started their own society of dorks.
Other assignments. If you turn in
So,
that one,
have them bring them some supplies and some peace offering,
sure, but you could
and then scout their camp to assess the threat
Don't
level.
turn in the final draft, and I'm thinking I'm missing about 6 or whatever reason. If you do not turn in that final draft, you will not.
Double team.
It doesn't matter.
Got my
if you have a
reboot
95
card.
right
Sit
now,
with
no
me.
missing events, you will probably not. It was due last week, Friday or Thursday, whichever one was your due date. You still turn it in by tomorrow. Yes, points will obviously be deducted, but when you think about it, if we out of the day, right? So
Miss, I turned in my final draft, right?
I saw, yes.
Okay. And Miss, if we do bad on the... Wait, are we taking an exam?
For the most part. But yeah.
So the final draft can take my grade up to like a what? Oh, that's good. From D, B, C.
I mean, even if you get a 95, it'll jump up 2 letter grades. Exactly, Kayla.
What if we just turned it in though?
And it's a blank. If you turn it in and it's not necessarily a
No,
plus
and it's not blank, but it's just like yeah. A C.
It'll still allow you to pass. But I don't think they're gonna go. I'm very curious to read about that topic.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Those of you still missing work, please just turn them in tomorrow.
Comment cuddle.
I made some phone calls today. I'll probably make a little bit more phone calls as well. Whatever's going to get you to turn in the things that I'm asking for. That's what I'm going to do. Before I get ahead of myself, this class is on 5. Gets out at...
Dude, bro, for my Christmas, I'm always trying to get a headset. Well, look, I need a headset. Fucking shit, dog. I'm not ready though.
Test taking strategies. Most of your exams,
Oh,
most
shit,
not all,
bro.
may include or maybe mostly multiple choice. I think a lot of the teachers like to do it that way. It's great, a little bit easier, and sometimes it's your preferred method of test. So we're trying to at least help you guys out in some way.
Dude, is no face-to-face or online?
Tests are scary. I love scales.
Why?
know that as well.
Ask him, tell him
Think
how
about how
fun.
confident are you taking a test, and from
Boy.
there, if you're more on the one side, not very confident, then you need to study a little bit more. If you're more so confident, at least for a specific subject, then spend more time on the other subjects you're not as confident in. That's one strategy. How nervous are you before taking a test? Tests are nerve-wracking. Even if you're a straight A NHS student, you still get nervous, and nerves are not bad. Feeling anxious or having some form of anxiety toward the test isn't bad either. You actually need some of that. It's called constructive anxiety for a reason. So if you think, oh shucks, I'm so nervous, don't let that discourage you. Nerves can be good. Help the mind, encourage the mind to work hard. How do you study? What are some strategies that work for you? Throw them at me.
Guessing. Eating my emo. Wing it.
That is not a strategy. But okay. What else? What are some ways you study, not some ways you take a test?
Oh, I just look at it for like a good hour, hoping I remember it.
Okay, so reviewing it, I guess visually. What else? What are some other studying strategies you guys use? You're sophomores and a junior. You guys have studied, I think. Read. I was like, what is? Read. Yeah, reading. Quizlet. Perfect. Just read the book. Yeah, keep reading the book. Repeating. Repetition normally helps retain information a little bit more. So Quizlet, just reading the book, things like that.
I'm real proud of him.
Or some
I see that.
How
about that laser, boy?
I don't know what that is.
How about this laser, boy? How about that laser, boy?
Reading the book while taking notes, reviewing the textbook if you have one, or previous assignments, assuming that the answers are correct. Studying old tests if you're able to get that from the teachers, watching clips as well, and drawing graphs. All of these things kind of align with whatever type of learner you are. Some strategies work for some people, some don't work for others. If Quizlet, maybe it works for her, maybe for Carmine, he hates Quizlet. It doesn't work for him. Don't do what doesn't work for you, and that kind of makes sense. Do whatever you find to be useful. And the reason for that is because, I don't know why I'm pressing there. The reason for that is because we're all different types of learners. And there are several different types of learners, including the ones that are listed there. You have like visual learners, verbal, logical, things like that. That's kind of
bro.
thinking about what type
What
of
a
learner
dude.
or learner
Shoot us, go again. No, I'm sweating this round. Let me just change my pickaxe to do this a slow pickaxe.
Has anyone ever thought about what type of learner they are before?
Nigga, I'm a crip learner.
Lot 2 said no. But I'm not
Which
sure.
out of the 7 describes you?
If not, you're gonna
I'm a
ask yourself it
physical
now.
learner.
What kind of learners do you
Oh, yeah. What kind of learner are you part of? Visual, verbal?
Concur to that. I'm a very visual learner myself.
Physical.
I like to watch things. Physical.
How does physical learning work?
How does physical learning work? That's a great
I don't know.
That aligns with subjects like science. Maybe you need to experiment or fidget with something, take things apart in order to see how they work instead of reading how they work on or in a textbook. So that would be something more physical, conducting a project or a study of some kind, things like that. Viewing it, if it's biology, going outside and actually having that visual component, or watching things as well. Sorry, it's long. One type of learning doesn't work as well. I mean, yeah, I think the next slide will say that most of us are more than one of these things. Like, for example, myself, I'm a visual learner, but I'm also a verbal learner. If I have to remember a certain thing within my studies, I would, not in a weird way at all, but talk to myself while I'm driving. Restate whatever things I read about. That way, I'm speaking it out loud and I'm rehearing it in my mind, and my mind is processing it kind of like double time, if that makes any sense. So that works for me. It's something that I did even on my way to campus this morning as I prepared to present this specific presentation. Yeah, it depends on the subject you're learning too. Obviously, like what I said, science can be a little bit more physical because there's experiments. Literature obviously is more visual or
Zay.
that on this day. Kind of the happy medium. Not something very little, like this one granola bar.
Zay.
Not something like a full tomorrow type of breakfast. I'm gonna be a hypocrite and say
Hello, hello?
oatmeal. I hate oatmeal.
Hello.
Bagels, maybe even like a breakfast kind of sandwich that's not too heavy. Caffeine, I know you love coffee. I love coffee too. I need coffee, and I use that word very firmly. The issue with that is what's normally associated with caffeine. I just said it earlier too, when we first started class. Crash. A moment where you will just kind of fairly quick, before you know it, you'll feel it. I'll probably feel it in the next 10 minutes as well. So caffeine can kind of help you at first and then hinder you later. Water is a great thing. The only thing is you may or may not be able to leave the classroom during an exam, so don't try to load up on the water and then try not to. Good breakfast. Eggs, oatmeal, cereal, yogurt are all good choices, not heavy stuff like whatever. That'll tell you. What time are we on? 1:10. Alright, we've got about 10 minutes. Test taking. Following directions, you will have a proctor. Your proctor will not know anything about your exam other than what the actual teacher has provided to them. We're all human. Sometimes we make mistakes. So I would probably, say I made a mistake in school times, I'd probably write a little note to the proctor to say, hey, can you tell the students number 2 is a typo? Or something like that. These are all things that you would need to hear. In order to do that, you need to listen. So make sure you're listening to that proctor before you start your exam. Read the directions on the test. Read each section. They might be different. If it's multiple choice, maybe that first section says only one choice is accepted. Maybe the second section says more than one choice is viable. If you wouldn't know that, if you skip through the directions. So read through them. Read all the questions and all the answers before choosing, even if you know it's 1,000% A. Read B, C, and D for good measure. Maybe you kind of misread A, or you saw the way it was. Activity rule on that. Time-wise, you get 60 minutes, but then again, you only get 60 minutes. It's a lot of time, but also time kind of flies by when you're in a situation of that magnitude. Answer a question. It's better to answer a question than to leave it blank. In probability, your chances of getting a question right increases as it's just answered, as opposed to leaving it unanswered. Make sense? Right. Use all the time given to you. You guys always think this is like a turtle that's not what it is. Put your exam to the side, take a little brain break, and maybe, who knows, an answer might come to you, an answer that you were struggling with. So keep your test for as long as you can. Once that proctor says 10 more minutes, review it again, and then go submit it. Now give yourself time to review your test at the end. Answer easy questions first. Get the easy ones out of the way, the ones that will take you 2 seconds of your 60-minute time frame. That way you can focus a little bit longer on the harder questions. Pace yourself, don't rush, however, be mindful of the time. Hopefully the proctor is there to say 30 minutes, go write it on the board. You're not getting disrupted by the sound of that time. Process of elimination, multiple choice. Go through each of the answers, just like what I said, and eliminate the ones that are just complete nonsense, or just don't relate to the question at all, or are correct, but don't match what the question's asking you, and things like that. Educated guesses. This is the 100% opposite of what Amelia said earlier. An educated guess is advice. Yes, that's what you're doing on a multiple choice question. You're using the information that you've learned throughout this semester and applying that throughout the best. That is way different from any new.
What is it?
That has no relation to you getting the correct answer. So make an educated guess. You really are stuck with them.
makes me
These are words to
wanna
kind of stay
ride.
clear of because they are usually wrong. When it says all people, blah blah blah, everyone thinks this or that. Those are all things that you might not want to choose as your multiple choice answer. On the opposite side, general words are normally correct. Some, sometimes, usually, most, many, those are normally associated with right answers. So that's another way if you're stuck on a multiple choice, looking at those words to clue you on
What are you doing?
is a better option.
Good.
Look for clues.
Hop on.
For example, in my physical science class,
Tooth?
we were talking about mixtures, solid solutions,
no.
suspensions, and colloids. And I talked to them about a salad dressing separating. That word separate was their clue to determine that that's a